house guests, welcome to today's bbcan 9 updates and spoilers. Our house guests of the day are Donna Stewart and Nancy Cowden. Thank you both so much for the support. We could not do this without you, and we appreciate it so much. So thank you again. And if you guys want to be house guests of the day, check out our Patreon link in the info box below. It's only $1 for a holla. And yes, I'm sorry, it's dark in here. I forgot one of my lights went out yesterday, and we did not change the bulb yet, so got some shadows and such going on, but it's okay. We're going to work with it. So when we left off yesterday, Tara was preparing to make her nominations. So she was definitely 100% sure that she would be putting Jed up on the block. But then she was like, who do I put up with Jed? Do I put up Beth or do I put up Ty? And it seemed like she was leaning towards Jed versus Ty at first. But then Beth went nuts. Beth was pushing this fake backdoor plan, trying to convince people that she wanted Jed backdoored this week. She was trying to get Braden and Ty up on the block as the initial nominees, and then she wanted one of the trio to win the power veto, keep the nominations the same, and then just vote out Braden. So she tried to get Kiefer to help her convince Tara to go along with it, but instead he exposed the plan to Tara and Braden. He also started turning Ty against Beth because he was telling Ty, Beth is trying to protect Jed this week. She's trying to take you out. She's totally fine with you going up on the block. And I think Beth genuinely was trying to get Braden out this week. Not necessarily because she wants Braden out, but the options are pretty slim here. But Kiefer thinks there's no way that Beth would honestly be trying to get Braden out. She's got to be going for Ty because she's going to want to cut the bigger threat. So he's telling Ty, Beth is trying to get you this week. So there's some real cracks in the trio right now, but it's hard to tell where Ty stands, but we'll get there. If you want more details on Beth talking herself up on the block, check out yesterday's spoiler. So Kiefer and Braden convinced Tara she should be putting Beth up with Jed because they don't think that Ty would use the power veto if he won. I think he would absolutely use it on Jed. I think this was a mistake. I think you gotta put up the one from the trio who's least likely to win this power veto, and I feel like that would be Beth. But I don't see Ty leaving Jed up on the block, even though he's promising Tara, Kiefer, and Braden that he would leave the nominations the same. I don't know. But Beth continued to spiral after Tara let her know that she's going up on the block. Woo! Okay, so anyway, Jed and Ty were chatting in the kitchen. This was still pre-nominations yesterday, and Ty says, we knew that it would come to this at some point, the trio possibly being split up. He just didn't think it would be this soon. So he says this POV is a must-win competition for us. We can still get out of this because if it is Jed and Beth going up on the block, if Ty wins the power veto and uses it, that means Braden or Kiefer will have to go up as the replacement, and Ty, and I'm assuming Jed, would control the votes this week. So they would all be able to make it through. So Jed says if it is one of us and Beth on the block at the end of the week, then Beth's gotta go. And Ty's like, yeah. But they're like, Tara is dumb if she thinks that Kiefer would keep Beth over one of us. Because they're thinking Tara wants to take out one of the guys this week, not Beth. But if Beth is up on that block, she's going. So they think the power veto is going to be used in pretty much every situation because, of course, Ty is saying he'll use it on Jed. Kiefer, they think, would use it on Jed, and Braden would use it on Beth. I'm going to say that's a no for Kiefer and a no for Braden. I don't see them changing the nominations. But in their eyes, ideally, Ty wins the power veto and they can use it on Jed and control the votes. So that's where they're at right now. Kiefer and Ty were chatting in the storage room. And Ty is really upset about Beth's attitude now that she knows that she's likely going up on the block. He's like, she was all cool with all these scenarios with other people going up. She was totally fine with Jed and Ty potentially going up. But now that she's possibly going up, she's pissed. So Ty says Beth is cheesed that he didn't pitch for Braden to go up when he was talking to Tara. And Ty's like, I wasn't going to pitch that because it makes no sense. Why would Tara do that? For real. They agree it's going to be a shitstorm this week. It's going to get messy. So Kiefer lets Ty know that Beth was talking all sorts of crap about him to Tara. Beth said that me, you, and Jed have a final 3. And she said that you've been skating by this whole time and that me and Jed have been carrying you through the game. Oof! And Kiefer says they turned on you quicker than they turned on me last week. And he says me, you, and Braden have to stay strong. So Kiefer is really putting in the work here to try and pull Ty away from Jed and Beth. It seems like Kiefer's ideal final 4 in this moment of time would be, and what he's working towards would be Ty, Braden, and Tara with him. That seems to be what he's working towards. Ty agrees, like, Beth is so fake. He is over her. Okay. I think at this point, Ty is more than happy to take the target off of Jed and move it on to Beth. So I'm not saying he would necessarily, like, try to get Beth out this week if she's up on the block against, like, Braden or Kiefer. But I think, he's thinking if it's still Jed and Beth up on the block, he wants to try and protect Jed. So, yeah. Tara and Braden were chatting in the HOH room. We get a little insight into their preferences this week. Because Tara has said over and over, like, I'm happy with any of the trio going. Like, whatever. So they're talking about how they hope the nominations are going to stay the same. And at this point, Tara had pretty much decided it's going to be Jed versus Beth. So Tara is pumping Braden up to win this POV. He says he's excited. He has a fire. And he wants to help make this move to take out Jed or Beth. So they agree either of them going would be great this week. But Tara says she would prefer Jed leaves over Beth because, like, he's a better competitor. All right. So then Beth was talking to the cameras in the OLG room a little later, and Beth says she was legit thinking about getting Jed out this week. Okay, Beth. You've been thinking about it this whole time. Come on. But, like, are you actually going to do it? So she says, I knew it would be my move this week. It would be on my resume, not Tara's. Oh my god, she will not let this go. So, she also says that Jed pissed her off the other day when he said in the kitchen that he was going to win everything moving forward. Alright, so Beth says she's done with Tara now. She hasn't liked her since the beginning, but now that Tara's putting her up on the block, she doesn't have to be fake with her. She doesn't have to bother with that. And she says she thinks it's ridiculous that Tara swore on her kids that she wouldn't put her up, and now she's doing exactly that. I don't get why anyone ever puts any stock in someone, like, swearing on a loved one or anything like that. This is not, like, a binding contract. Why would you believe it? It's ridiculous. But anyway, Beth admits, yeah, I've been playing Tara really hard this whole time. But that's just because I've been playing every single person. Oh, okay, so it's for Beth only. Only Beth can play other people. Okay. So then she's going on about how she wants to snap at Tara. She's saying Tara is not good with her moving forward. And she says Tara is going to the jury house next week. Could be this week. I mean, they got that fake double. And then the 2 evictees are going to see who's going to stay. Like, it's going to be wild. It's just kind of, like, frustrating knowing that something could finally, like, we could finally have a power shift this week. But it might be meaningless. So, yeah. But anyway, Beth is saying that she wants to go to the final 3 with Jed and Ty. Like, that's what she wants in her heart. But she's also thinking she wants to cut Jed at the final 4. She's not sure it would be the best game move for her to go to the end with Jed and Ty. I don't think it would be. So, yeah. Beth and Jed are about to get nominated together. And now, Beth is just, like, punching Jed in the heart. This was so freaking awkward. They were hanging out in the kitchen, and Beth was like, oh, I've been meaning to tell you, this girl I know, she's talking about this girl that she's traveled around with. She's like, this girl I know is literally the perfect girl for you. romance guy? What? And Jed's like, why? What do you mean? Beth says, I've been thinking about her and you all the time, and I think that you guys would be perfect together. So Jed's like, wow, so you're pawning me off. Okay, cool. Jed seemed super uncomfortable during this conversation. It was very awkward. But Beth is like, well, if things don't work out. So she says this other girl is short. She's blonde. She's a gym teacher. She has the best body. She's so into fitness. She's the funniest person that Beth knows. She's so outgoing. And she only dates black men. Okay. This was really weird. I don't know. I guess Beth is, like, done with him after the show. Like, now that they're both going up on the block together, it's like, whatever. But it's really awkward because it seemed like Jed was, like, actually falling in love with Beth. I don't know. It's just a weird situation. But anyway, nomination ceremony was a little bit after that, and as expected, Tara put Jed and Beth up on the block. So after Jed checked in with Tara in the HOH room, and he's like, hey, thanks for not tearing me apart in your speech. Thanks for not tearing me apart. And Tara's like, of course. I respect your game. It wouldn't be a bad thing if you or Beth won the power veto. And I'm sure Tara actually feels that way, because if one of them won, Ty would go up on the block. So she'd still be getting rid of somebody from the trio. So yeah, I don't think she's worried about either of the nominees winning, but I do think she's worried about Ty winning. So Tara says she felt like she had to put Beth up on the block because she thinks that Beth would have used the POV on Jed if she wasn't nominated herself. And she was like, I think Beth will cut you at some point in this game, but I don't think it would be now. But, like, I feel like Ty would also use the POV on Jed. So Tara says she feels like Beth and Jed are equally as powerful in this game. Okay. So then Ty and Beth were chatting, and Ty is saying, I'm going to win this POV. I'm going to make sure we are all safe this week. We're all going to get through this. Ty says he wins when they need him the most. He won that big POV during the double eviction to make sure that Rohan would go. So then they were chatting for a while, whatever. And then after Beth walks away, Ty says, I can't wait to send her home. Oh? I don't know if he's talking about this week. I don't know if he just means, like, later on at some point in the game. I don't know what this means. But Ty is definitely annoyed with Beth. I don't know. I don't know what that means timeline-wise. Is it possible that he's planning on throwing the power veto? Or, like, is he planning on voting Beth out no matter who's against her? Like, even if even if Jed came down and, like, Kiefer or Braden went on the block, would he still vote out Beth? I don't know. He's been talking a big game with both sides the last few days, so it's really hard to figure out where Ty stands. I would think he's still going to stay loyal to the trio. But yeah, I don't know. It's very interesting to see how this is unfolding. But that was all last night. So then this morning, Kiefer and Ty had a game chat in the bathroom, and Kiefer was like, we need a plan for if Jed wins the power veto. We need to make sure we're still going to be in his good graces, because if Jed comes down, we're still going to vote Beth out. Oh? Yeah, I don't know. Kiefer says we need to be on the same page with Braden. I've been talking about this with him, and he did talk with Braden about taking out Beth last night, and Braden seemed to be on board with it. So it seems like if Jed and Beth are still up on the block at the end of the week, at this point, it could be Beth going. But who knows how that could change throughout the week. So, and, with the power veto. So Ty says he wishes that if Jed came down, that Tara would put up Braden as the replacement nominee. Not him. And then, we for sure vote out Beth. I feel like that's a lie, though, because I think that Ty would still stay loyal to the trio and vote out Braden. But Kiefer says, yeah, it's not going to happen. Tara's going to put you up as a replacement nominee if one of the nominees wins power veto. Okay, so then Tara asked Beth to chat in the Expedia Junior room, and Tara's like, I know you're obviously cheesed that I put you up on the block, but I need you to think big picture here. Like you said to me during your HOH, if you go home, something went terribly wrong. Yeah, but Tara doesn't realize that Kiefer, Ty, and Braden are all pretty much scheming to get Beth out this week. Ugh. So that's kind of awkward. But Tara says to Beth, I need you to win that power veto. And I think that Tara would actually be happy about that. She's being genuine here because that would mean that Ty would go up on the block and it would be either Ty or Jed leaving this week. So Beth is like, yeah, I'm gunning for it. You don't have to worry about that. Like, I'm gunning for it. So Tara says if Jed goes, you're gonna have this. It's gonna be great for you. You're gonna have a cheerleader in the jury for you. He won't be pissed at you because you didn't have to make like some dirty move to get rid of him. And people are still gonna think that we're against each other. You are. And Tara says some of the stuff that she's talked about with Beth has been getting back to her. So, like, something's going on there. But she says she still trusts Beth. And Beth is like, well, even if this information is getting back to you, like, it's obvious that I'm playing a girl's game. Oh my God, Beth, are you kidding me? Stop it. So Tara is again saying it's the best case scenario for both of them if Beth wins this POV. It sets you up to take Jed without making a dirty move, and she tells Beth to keep acting like she's pissed at Tara, to throw people off and think that they're not working together. I don't think Beth is acting. She's legit pissed at Tara, okay? But Tara says if Jed comes down, they're going to have another conversation, and they'll figure out who to put up next to Beth to keep her safe this week. It's going to be Ty going up. And at that point, I think Ty would definitely say, I think if Ty goes up on the block this week, he stays no matter what. I think. But Beth is going along with what Tara's saying. She's like, yes, like, we need each other in this game, of course, yes. But then after Tara leaves, Beth says, this is not Tara's move at all. I'll still have my vote. Will you? Because if you're up on the block next to Jed, you will not have a vote. But yeah, she says, I can't stand Tara. And then Beth was talking to the camera. She's pumping herself up for the POV, saying she's going to win this whole game. She says she's doing this all by herself. She doesn't need anyone to take her to the end. Okay, if you say so. So then, today, other than that, today's been a pretty chill day so far. Everyone's just anxiously awaiting the big POV competition. One small thing, Ty and Kiefer were talking about going to the final two together. I wouldn't put too much stock into this because they both have multiple final two deals with other people. I think they're just like, you know, covering their butts. But yeah, the Power Veto competition is today. Everyone will be playing except for Tara because she's the HOH. And if we just take a quick look at the breakdown here, of course, Beth or Jed, if they win, they would use it on themselves because they're both nominated. And in that case, Ty would go up as the replacement nominee. If Kiefer or Braden win, they would leave the nominations the same, and Jed or Beth would go. And then if Ty wins the Power Veto, who knows? He's telling Beth and Jed that he would use it on one of them. It would be Jed out of the two. And he's swearing to Kiefer, Braden, and Tara that he would leave the nominations the same. He's telling Tara, yeah, I'm going to vote Jed out. He's got to get out of here. He's telling Kiefer, like, yeah, let's get rid of Beth. Like, I honestly don't know 100% what Ty would do. I'm assuming he would use it on Jed. I feel like there's no way he turns on Jed at this point. Maybe he wouldn't use it, but then he would make sure that Beth goes. I don't know. I don't know that he would risk that, though. I feel like he would use it on Jed. And if that were the case, Braden would go up as the replacement nominee, and he would be in some serious danger. But that's where we're at right now. If you guys want to check back later for the Power of Veto results, I will post them in the info box. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Let me know what you guys think about all this in the comments. It's getting exciting. And until next time, much love.